It was an interesting first week in college football. Wisconsin found a way to dominate for a whole half before completely fading away against LSU. Penn State nearly lost to UCF in a country that barely recognizes American football, and every team from the state of Iowa struggled, even the ones playing each other. With the first week of college football and volleyball under our belts, Nebraska fans got a good idea of how both teams will perform this year. We start with football in the letter E for efficiency. The Husker offense racked up nearly 800 yards of total offense, and over half of it was through only two players, running back Amir Abdullah and quarterback Tommy Armstrong. While the former was pretty much the standard for what people are expecting out of Abdullah this year, the latter was probably the biggest surprise of the day. What was talked about as a quarterback controversy in Lincoln didn't look nearly as controversial as people had thought, or maybe even hoped. Armstrong looked sharp enough and confident enough to develop and lead the offense and kept the errors to a minimum. Up next is B for butt catch. Of course, it's helpful for any quarterback when he has receivers who can catch passes with both hands behind their back. On Saturday, Jordan Westerkamp, had 125 yards receiving on only 7 catches, including a touchdown. Obviously, though, the most impressive play of the day, and possibly for the coming year, was catching a tipped pass right on the Husker sideline, keeping both feet inbounds and catching the ball by pinning it behind his back against his butt. It's the type of catch you try when you're screwing around with friends in someone else's yard, and even then you never get it to work just right. Westy did it on the first try. Next is S for sales, more specifically selling tickets and selling programs. This past weekend, volleyball opened up play at the Devaney Center against 13th-ranked Florida State and 4th-ranked Stanford. While the Huskers lost both of these matches, it wasn't a total loss for the program. The matches gave Nebraska a chance to show off the newly renovated Devaney Center, as well as the fact that the seats were full for every match. When you're trying to keep top-tier talent streaming into your program, what better way to sell it to a recruit than playing the top teams in the country and arguably the best atmosphere in the sport? This goes the same for our basketball program, who recently landed a 4-star point guard who committed after attending last Saturday's football game. Yeah, the Huskers played so well, they brought in a recruit for an entirely different sport. Next is C for the curse of an injured senior, and this one is pretty frightening. Early in last Saturday's game, Husker defensive end and projected first-round draft pick Randy Gregory left the game and was seen being tended to on the sidelines by several members of the training staff. It appeared as though Gregory's knee was injured to some degree, and given Nebraska's issues with knee injuries in the last few months, this was a very scary moment. Up to this point, all anyone will say is that Randy is doubtful for this Saturday's cupcake game against McNeese State, but may be able to play against Fresno State in just under 2 weeks. And I mean, Bo would never tell us an injury wasn't as bad as it actually was, right? Finally, we have B for bloggers and beat writers. It's pretty common for coaches to criticize members of sports media for different things. However, citing them as the cause of you losing a game isn't generally one of them. But in his presser on Tuesday, Northwestern coach Pat Fitzgerald praised the beat writers and bloggers for California by saying they did a good job of keeping Cal's strategy of using a 2-quarterback system a secret, and that his team was totally unprepared for it. Yeah, he actually credited them with keeping secrets from his coaching staff. So allow me to give Coach Fitzgerald everything he needs to know before Nebraska comes into Evanston in October. We have an offense that likes to get a lot of yards and score a lot of points. Oh, and if you're up 1 score with time running out, I'd be sure to knock the ball down this time. And hey, before then, if you need any help with the media relations, maybe go adopt a cat. You seem to like that. That's it for this week, and if you want more content about all things Husker sports, feel free to follow us on Twitter @CornfedSports and @CornfedLive for live updates from different events. Thanks for watching.